Your former college teammate and the WNBA's most impressive rookie, A'ja Wilson, on Fox Sports Southwest. In 2017, South Carolina captured the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship on the wings of A'ja Wilson, Alicia Gray, and Kayla Davis. 2 weeks later, the Dallas Wings selected Gray and Davis in the first round of the WNBA draft. Gray went on to win Rookie of the Year honors, and Davis has started the last 2 games. Fast forward to 2018, and the Las Vegas Aces selected A'ja Wilson with the first overall pick. And so far, she's the top-scoring rookie in the WNBA. Tonight, the three unite on the court for the first time in a regular season game. Tonight, the Dallas Wings close out a 2-game homestand. It also begins a very pivotal stretch of 7 games versus Western Division foes. Tonight, for the first time this year, they host the Aces of Las Vegas. Hello again, everybody. Along with TCU women's head basketball coach Reagan Peebley, I'm Ron Thula. Now the Wings stand at 4-4. They've won 2 of their last 3 games, but the games coming up are very important.
They really are, Ron. Before we get too far ahead, let's look back just for a second. They're really only a couple possessions away from us being able to say they're 3-0. But this game, I don't want to say it's a must-win, but it is really important because what they have coming up after the Aces, Minnesota Lynx, LA Sparks, Seattle Storms, it only gets tougher.
Well, this team is starting to come together, especially because of the emergence of Alicia Gray playing like she did all of last season.
The Rookie of the Year, Alicia Gray, did start out a little rough, but as we can see, first 4 games, about 5 points a game, but man, has she hit the scene, and she's the player we've come to expect. She spent the offseason finishing her degree while everybody else heads overseas, but she's shaking that rust off, and we're glad she has.
Well, the team, of course, will be without Karima Christmas-Kelly out for the season with a knee injury, but that's opened the door for Kayla Davis. Alexa Shaw caught up with KD just a moment ago.
Thanks, Ron. Just like you mentioned, Kayla, this team has been plagued by injuries, but you stepped up when the team needed you most. Coming off of this loss against Phoenix, how has the team regrouped and responded?
We just really locked in. You know, we've had a couple days to prepare. You know, it's a quick bounce back coming back in here Friday. But, you know, you watch film. We watched the whole entire game and just, you know, saw what we did wrong and, you know, corrected those things over this past couple days.
And tonight, you and Alicia are back on the court with your former teammate from the University of South Carolina and A'ja Wilson. Could you ever imagine that you three would be playing on the same court in the WNBA?
Not really. I mean, it's one of those things you dream of, you imagine, you talk about. So to actually be in this situation, you know, I think all of us are kind of on the same page as far as just, you know, keeping our university proud and Coach Staley and, you know, just all those people that we played for, you know, at South Carolina. So it's an awesome experience, and, you know, I know we all take a second to kind of take that in.
The South Carolina reunion out there on the court tonight. Kayla, thanks for the time. Ron, the Wings look to get this win at home before they hit the road to Minnesota.
Absolutely. Of course, as mentioned, this is the first professional meeting with 3 teammates who won a national title right here in Dallas. And let's talk about the Aces. A'ja Wilson, she has taken the league by storm.
She really has. This ace is starting to show her cards, and I'll tell you what, she is a queen on the court. I can't believe she's a rookie. These numbers she's posting are unbelievable, and how is she doing it? Really, it's all about unapologetic swag and skill. Everybody knows she loves her left hand, but she's adding some confidence to that right hand, as well as the ability to shoot from the perimeter. But I'll tell you what, she can defend too, Ron, and this is a player who I might say might just not only be in the running, but might already have that Rookie of the Year in the bag.
Not going to get a disagreement from me. Last year, the Aces were the San Antonio Stars, and the Wings took all 3 meetings between these 2 teams. You think you know everything about Skylar Diggins-Smith? On the other side of the break, she'll tell you 3 things you may not know.
The time is now. Let's do this!
This summer, come see superstars under the stars as Florida Georgia Line lights up the amazing Coliseum at WinStar Friday, August 17th.
Come on, time road.
Tickets on sale now.
We're gonna stay till the food on soul.
Only at WinStar World Casino and Resort.
When it comes to your health, you want one place that can go the distance with you. As the largest not-for-profit healthcare system in Texas, Baylor Scott & White Health has the resources, the technology, and the expertise. From primary care to precision medicine, all under one name. So no matter where life finds you, today or in years to come, trust that we'll be there to care for you. To find a Baylor Scott & White physician, visit bswhealth.com.
This is it, Messi's last World Cup. Let that sink in. A moment 3 billion people will be watching. This thing's bigger than the moon landing. If he comes up short, he's still Messi. But if he brings it home, he's the Messiah. Argentina versus Iceland. Coverage begins tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern on Fox.
Dallas Wings basketball is brought to you by Baylor Scott & White Health. To find Dr. Wright right now, visit bswhealth.com/doc. Now, 3 things to know about the Wings all WNBA point guard.
Hey everybody, this is Skylar Diggins-Smith, and here are 3 things to know about me. Number 1, I came back from an ACL in 2015 and made first team all WNBA last season. Number 2, I graduated from the University of Notre Dame, who also won the national championship this year. And number 3, I host my Shoot for the Sky camp in the off season for grades 2 through 12. So make sure y'all check them out.
She is in incredible shape, as is Liz Cambage. Here's what the two have done so far this season.
Isn't that special? I mean, I don't know if you can get more important to a team than those two right now. Whenever you got a point guard and a post that can produce like that, you got a shot to win any game.
Well, let's take a look at our starting lineup, brought to you by Baylor Scott & White Health. Kelsey Plum, the #1 draft pick last season. 2 top draft picks on this Las Vegas Aces team. They were built for defense, Bill Laimbeer says. Kayla McBride having an outstanding season. Jisoo Park, the youngest player in the WNBA from Korea. Asia Wilson, and, of course, Tamara Young. Smith, Gray, Cambage, Davis, and Thornton, the usual suspect starting 5 for the Wings. Let's talk about your keys to the game.
Well, I think one thing's really important is have a bounce-back mentality. Don't let a couple of possessions, a few minutes of basketball in their last game affect how you open this game. And number 2, you got to put all 4 quarters together. And, Ron, as you and I have talked about, they've opened up first quarters really well, but now you got to follow up with consistency every single quarter.
Well, in the season so far, the Dallas Wings outscore opponents by an average of 4.5 points in quarter number 1. But they're outscored in the next 3 quarters. So that kind of backs up what you were saying. Las Vegas Aces, they've won 2 straight, both on the road. Haven't won 3 straight since 2015. Their head coach, of course, Bill Laimbeer, 5 years as head coach of the New York Liberty, 2-time WNBA Coach of the Year. And he really restored New York to their prominence in his tenure. Hopes to do the same for the Aces. And, of course, the head coach of your Dallas Wings, Freddie Bass Williams, comes in having won 120 games so far. And he was very frustrated, to say the least. After that loss to Phoenix, he knew that game slipped away from him.
He really did, but he's a pro as a leader and as a head coach, and he knows how important it is that in order for his team to move on, he has to move on as well.
Roy Gilbane will toss it up. Brendan Pantoja, Carlina Tobin, those are the officials tonight, and the Wings have it. The Wings start out extremely fast. We saw that in the Phoenix game. They lost 75-72, but they really started hot. Cam Beige already with 2 threes this season made. And the turnover. Here is Young out of the pack. Averages just under 4 assists a ball game. She's having a great year. Career high average and assists. Nothing but the bottom of the net for A'ja Wilson.
Well, we see early A'ja Wilson let her presence be known, and this is a matchup that I really want to see throughout the night. A'ja Wilson guarding out on the perimeter, which is not something she had to do a whole lot in college.
Skylar goes inside. The #1 scorer in the WNBA, Skylar Diggins-Smith, 22.1 points a contest.
Skylar Diggins-Smith is so special, and we'll talk about it a lot tonight, but she's not exceptionally tall. As we see a little high-low pass from the youngest player in the WNBA, Park. But she's not exceptionally tall, she's not exceptionally fast, but she's exceptionally smart.
And that's what you have to do. Jisoo Park is just 19 years of age. Cam Beige coming off a frustrating game versus Phoenix. Nice steal by Kayla Thornton, KT. Kayla Davis for 3, doesn't get it. Alicia Gray was sizing up the rebound, but it ends up in the hands of Young. This team, the Aces, beat New York 78-63 on Wednesday. It's been a tough road trip for them. Davis, they have numbers if they hurry. Gray. And they'll set it up with Skylar Diggins-Smith outside, 15 to shoot.
We're seeing so far the Dallas Wings doing a nice job getting themselves into transition, but rebounding is the key to this game, I think, for both teams to make sure they can get to that open court.
Cam Beige may have gotten a piece of it. Kayla Thornton out of the pack. Here comes Skylar. Gray on the right side. Thornton sets the pick. Inside, Cam Beige wide open. Count it, center to the line.
Ball. Skylar Diggins-Smith right there really set that entire play up, Ron. And that her patience, again, is what makes her so smart. She could have attacked that lane, but she understood to get the best shot. They needed to move the ball, compromise a post defender, and get Liz Cam Beige a deep touch.
Skylar averaging 5.8 assists a game. That's 3rd best in the WNBA. And we saw Cam Beige make the free throw. One of the keys, the Wings have to figure out how to keep her on the floor tonight.
It's a challenge, and that was a big reason for the loss the other night. Her 5th and 6th foul coming up in consecutive possessions as we see her foul in that possession right there.
Well, just got tied up with Jisoo Park and Cam Beige. That'll be her first foul, first team foul. Jisoo Park doesn't play a lot of minutes, but watching her when they played the exhibition game here this season and watching her on tape, this young lady's got some ability, and she's just 19 years old.
Well, you can't do anything about youth except for give her experience.
Right.
And that's what it's going to take. And as you talk to Bill Lambier, we know he believes all she needs is that experience.
McBride buries the 3. This is not a big three-point shooting team. Aces take about 10 a game, make 3 a game. Thornton, no. Cam Beige tried to poke it out. Tied up at 7. Just about 3 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter. Park from the outside. No. Cam Beige pulls down the rebound. Already with 2 rebounds. She didn't have a great night rebounding the ball the other night versus Phoenix. Skylar Diggins-Smith. She's got 4 already tonight.
Skylar Diggins-Smith does such a great job also in transition of really making it look like she's playing downhill as we see McBride hit 2 shots in a row, and that is not something Dallas can afford to have happen, is her get hot early.
Well, McBride having a career year as far as field goal percentage, shooting 43%. And we're tied up again at 9. Cam Beige thought about the 3, knocked away. Kayla Thornton had it and lost it. Cam Beige added that to her repertoire, had not hit a 3-pointer in her career coming into this season, and she's 2 of 6 coming into tonight.
You know, Ron, one of the things that I think we have to talk about is the schedule the Aces have had thus far.
Yeah.
And they've spent a lot of time on the road. They played back-to-back games the other night. Very few days off. And so the conditioning element needs to show itself here. And what kind of condition the Dallas Wings are and how they can take advantage of that.
Aces will play 8 of their first 11 games on the road after beating Indiana. They had to get to New York. They had a 4 a.m. bus, got to the hotel, got a little rest, then had a play against New York 2 nights ago.
We really need that foul to be on Kayla Thornton right there. And thankfully it is, because right there in that mix was Liz Cambage, and the Wings can't afford for Liz to have 2 fouls this early.
At the line, it'll be Asia Wilson. 21 years old, celebrating her birthday coming up in August. She averages almost 10 free throw attempts a game.
Yeah, and she's a player that really does a fantastic job of forcing teams into their bench. She draws some of the most fouls of any other player in the league.
Well, she's coming up only 3 field goals made versus New York. That's the fewest she had made since game number 1. And the Aces up by 1. Skyler for 3. Boy, Kayla Thornton was tied up underneath with Wilson. I think Kayla Thornton's got the muscle on her. McBride, tough off balance shot. Right back into the hands of McBride.
Skyler right here, understanding the importance of slowing the tempo, setting this offense up, and really allowing and forcing the Aces to have to guard them in the half court.
Liz Cambage gets the deuce. Cambage now with 7 points in this opening quarter. For the Aces, McBride has 9 of the last 10 points. That is stopped as Wilson gets it. Wilson now with 5 in the contest. Only 2 Aces have scored, Reagan.
Yeah, well, her efficiency is incredible. For a rookie especially.
Lum will try to come up with the steal, but Skyler got it back. You know, when you and I were talking a day or so ago about Skylar Diggins-Smith, and Greg Bibb was in on the conversation, her number 1 trait, I think, is her work ethic, Skylar.
It is. It's exceptional. It's the best Greg Bibb, who's been a part of this league for a long time, and Fred have seen out of some, and they've seen a lot of great players. And that work ethic is a consistent work ethic too, and it's intentional. She doesn't just go in and take a couple of random shots, and it's what sets her up for reading great possessions like that.
Well, Kayla McBride, she's got 11 of the 16 Las Vegas points. Liz Cambage has 7. Skylar Diggins-Smith has 6. We go to a break, and the Wings trail by a field goal.
Growing up in Indiana, you knew the game of basketball. Now, that's what you knew. I wanted to be the best.
Too easy for Skylar Diggins.
Coming back from my injury was one of the biggest hurdles in my professional career. I never been without the game of basketball before, so just being out there on the floor again with my team was an accomplishment. I was really proud of that. I'm here to work.
The time is now. Let's do this!
Welcome back into College Park Center, where it's Pride Night here at the CPC. Now the Wings, Alicia Gray, and the Aces, Asia Wilson, their time dates all the way back to the University of South Carolina, where not just were they teammates, but they were best friends as well. And the pair has supported each other throughout their entire career. And as you can see from this footage from pregame, they had a little fun before this game. I think it's safe to say it was all business once they got on the court. And they are not shy about taking to Twitter to talking about their friendship. Alicia tweeted earlier this year that, hey, we can have a whole conversation using emojis and know exactly what each other are saying. Ron and Reagan, take a look at their single leg sleeves they both rock. I think we have to decide who wore it better.
What's an emoji?
Oh, come on.
No,
Don't hate yourself like that.
No,
but how about the picture right there? I love that Alexa Shaw points out the single leg sleeve instead of the fact that they're both in volleyball roles in that photo.
Really? Here's Skylar Diggins-Smith. I think right now Fred Williams talked about defense during that timeout. The Dallas Wings, #1 in opponent field goal percentage, allowing opponents just 39% shooting, but the Aces almost 64 in the early going.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams have really emphasized early in the season how important defense was going to be. And we knew and have talked a lot about that with Fred Williams. But you know Bill Laimbeer is talking to his team about that as well. Bill Laimbeer made his career as a player being a great defender.
Now Skylar Diggins-Smith switches. Glory Johnson comes over, and Davis picks off the pass. KD has it rejected by Wilson.
Well, that's that defense that we talked about in the pregame that the rookie is showing on a game-by-game basis.
I'll tell you what, Asia Wilson does both ends of the court, plays extremely well, coming up with her 14th block of the season, inside, whistle, and a foul. Let's go back to that block just a moment ago.
Well, what's special about it is this block was done inside the restricted arc as well, and Asia Wilson understands principle of verticality. I can be in this restricted arc, and as long as I'm in my space, it's legal contact. And what I love, though, is Kayla Davis in the next possession gets herself to the free throw line and understands I've just got to go a little bit stronger and absorb that contact a little bit more.
Kayla's 73% career free throw shooter. Now 8 of 13 on the season. Ariel Powers will come in. Alicia Gray will go out. Jisoo Park goes out. And Kelsey Bone, the former Texas A&M Aggie, comes into the lineup wearing jersey number 3 for Las Vegas. Of course, played for Gary Blair down at A&M. Actually, Bill Laimbeer drafted her in the 2013 draft as head coach of New York.
Well, I think it's no mistake as we see how Bill Laimbeer has built this team, the size that you see. They're one of the tallest teams in the league, and he's got a lot of what I refer to as recovering posts. As we see great ball movement there. Again, an assist now coming from Asia Wilson. But this Aces team is large in size and really does a great job defensively.
First player outside of McBride and Wilson to score, and then the Wings answer. Good to see from Glory Johnson. Missed a number of games because of that thigh injury.
Glory Johnson not only brings scoring, but she brings a toughness to the Dallas Wings team.
McBride, catch, shoot, miss. Cambage gives it up. Ariel Powers. The 3 on the way. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Kayla Davis.
And right there is what defensive rebounding is going to get you. 2 back-to-back threes off of your defense.
Kayla's start of the season with back-to-back double-figure games, has not had any since then. Wilson, spin move. Glory puts up the hand. Just enough to distract her. Tried to get the pass inside to Johnson. McBride, and she's going to be fouled by Glory.
Well, that's a frustrating call, I know, for Glory Johnson, but that's great offense by McBride. Yeah. But isn't it fun to see Liz Cambage initiate breaks? She's pushing the break like she's a point guard and quickly realizes 2-dribble limit for me. Skylar Diggins-Smith, where are you?
Here's the Hamby in the lineup, gives it off to Lindsay Allen, better known as L.A. Leads the team in assists per game at just under 5. Here's Hamby out front. Powers now tries to go over top of the screen. Still plenty of time to shoot. Bone from 17, goes 18. Glory tracks it down. Here comes AP. Bowers, little hesitation, sprints through it, lost the handle. That'll be the 4th turnover already for the Wings here in the opening quarter. And coming into the last game, they had really cleaned up, coughing the ball up.
Well, that needs to stay the same, but we're seeing some new players enter the rotation right now, and you might see, as a result of that, some turnovers while they figure out the pace and the timing of their teammates in the offense.
Well, Azarae Stevens has checked into the lineup, our first-round draft pick. Azarae really improving game by game. Here's Allen. Good job, Glory Johnson on the switch. Allen goes underneath.
This lineup that the Dallas Wings have in right now is a really fun lineup. And now that they're getting players healthy, and as Greg Bibb said, the cavalry is arriving, there's a lot of versatility as we see Skylar Diggins-Smith attack the tunnel right there and get herself to the free throw line.
You know, we always talked about Karima Christmas-Kelly, how she sacrificed her body. I tell you, Skylar Diggins-Smith, she really sacrifices her body.
Well, this is what the offseason allows you to do. You can add skill and you can add strength, and that strength keeps you consistent from game to game, and you can get yourself to the free throw line and produce for your team without hesitation.
Next Friday is African American Heritage Night as the Wings take on the Los Angeles Sparks, 7 p.m. right here at the College Park Center. Immediately after the game, kids 12 years and under can shoot free throws on the court. Tickets start at just $20. Go to DallasWings.com and get your tickets today. And I've already challenged anybody under the age of 12. I'll shoot free throws.
You're like Kramer.
You're laughing.
Yeah, you're like Kramer in the... Whoa. We're going to see a technical foul called in, I think, appropriately. And this is a great officiating crew on this game. I think it's a crew where you have 2 former players officiating. They understand how this game has to be called. And you set the tone early. And you can see right here a tie ball, little extra oomph right there, probably not necessary. And now they'll just go double check it for hostile act.
Well, you and I have known these officials a long time, and Roy Gilbayan, the crew chief, now over with Brenda Pantoja. Very fair officials. Let's take a look at it again. Break it down for us.
Well, again, post-entry action with just a little bit of an attack. And great hands by Kayla Davis. I don't think there's any foul there, but that draws it. And this happens. This happens in a game, but you can't throw that little extra elbow that we see here, which officials, as that elbow comes up, officials have to protect players. And as a coach, I'm thankful that officials have that charge to protect the health and welfare of players out there.
Well, Kayla Davis took one the other night against Phoenix and went flying out of the pack. I don't know what classes she took at South Carolina, but at times I think one of them might have been acting.
Do they have a very good theater department there in South Carolina? I don't know.
She would fit in with that, but that was definitely a hit, and the officials have made the decision. All right, give us the word, Reagan.
Well, you probably heard me say it. Jump ball. And the technical foul confirmed as they went back to the review monitor. So what will happen is Skylar Diggins-Smith will shoot the 2 for the technical, and then it will go to the jump ball as the call was made.
Skylar Diggins-Smith has been outstanding from the free throw line. She makes you pay for fouling her. She's 60 of 65 on the season. And she practices those shots constantly. Young players, that's what you need to do.
Well, discipline is habit of mind. And when you step to the free throw line as a disciplined player, you're going to hit those free throws because you control your mindset. You control your routine. And she doesn't stray from that at all.
Well, the Aces get the tip. Final 36 seconds here in the opening quarter. Wings by 5. Inside, Coffey off balance. But she does draw the contact and the foul. That's going to be on Kayla Davis. That'll be her first.
a really special player out of Northwestern, and just in her second year, and just great IQ and understanding the movement pattern and how Kayla Davis was playing her. And I know that's a frustrating call by Kayla, but you've got to give that cushion to that offensive player and not allow her to get into your body.
Coffey 66% on the year from the free throw line. Her minutes have almost tripled from last season. She had 23 versus Seattle, but in 3 games since has also had 23.
Well, again, and the fun with the Dallas Wings in their lineups is right now they have Kayla Davis playing the point guard with Skylar at the 2 spot, and that just opens up perimeter scoring a little bit as we see Aerial Powers take that 3.
And Skylar Diggins-Smith just out-hustled Lindsay Allen on that play. You know, when we talk all the time about 50-50 balls, that was a 50-50 ball. Final 3 seconds. Skylar gives it up. No. Azare stepped on the sideline. It's out of bounds.
Her feet weren't so big. She would be fine.
Yes, exactly.
But it's not fair. That sideline right there, that 3-point line and the sideline just isn't made for large feet.
Allen knocks it down. No basket. They're going to review it. Bill Laimbeer cannot believe it. We had a great angle on it, and it was almost simultaneously the shot and the buzzer. We have to go back and look at it again, and that's what the officials are going to do.
Well, it'll be really close. You know, Bill Laimbeer's over there saying pretty adamantly that shot should count, and the officials' call was it didn't count. So now they're going to need clear evidence, and let's see if we get it, that the shot actually got off, and it doesn't look like it did.
No, it didn't. Well,
the officials are right again.
I want to see Bill Laimbeer's reaction if they indeed do wave it off. The fans are waving it off already. By the way, another great crowd on hand. Good look, and watch the basket too. The officials are not only looking at the basket, but listening for the horn. What do you think?
Great shot by our camera crew right there, and I really think this shot does not count, and Roy absolutely agrees with that call.
Well, it was not a three-pointer. We've ended one. Wings by 4.
Any group that has Germany may as well be the group of death. They're a precision-tuned defense-destroying machine. But Chicharito and El Tri are ready to take care of business. It's the Uber team versus the underdog. The power versus the passion. Germany versus Mexico. Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern on FS1.
Hi, I'm Basketball Hall of Famer Nancy Lieberman. 38 years ago, with a bunch of kids, we decided we were going to have basketball camp. We were going to take your game to a higher level with skills, drills, and learning how to play the game. Then my son, TJ Klein, started playing at 4. He is now playing professionally in Europe. He works on similar skills and drills that we worked out at basketball camp. This can happen for you. Join our basketball bunch at NancyLiebermanCharities.org.
Come on now. Speak for yourself. All I'm saying is... Throw the strips out. Listen, Whitlock, I'm a polarized fire starter. Whitlock has created a fire. This corrupt system. Calm down. Stop. I am what I am. Cowherd. Here's my problem with what has happened in the American media. We have deep-rooted issues. Oh, who goes to a stadium looking for an opinion? Here comes the Twitter avalanche. That's the way you do it.
Breaking the record is just a start. Overcoming the pressure is a necessity. You have to do more than just get it close or have the greatest comeback ever. You have to play through the pain. That's how you leap from the edge of greatness and become legendary. U.S. Open, tomorrow at 11 a.m. on Fox. All part of the USGA Championships presented by Rolex.
After the first 8 games of the season, the Wings have been outscoring opponents by 4.5 points in the opening quarter. They outscored them by 4 tonight, along with Reagan Beasley, Alexis Shaw, and Ron Thulin. Good to have you with us. I think what stands out of the numbers of the opening quarter, Dallas had assists on 6 of their 8 hoops.
They have, and those have all been inside the paint shots for them. And as they've opened the first quarter, 1 for 6 from the three-point line. And now we see the Aces 2 for 2 from the three-point line. So reversal of roles right there, because the Aces are known as being a three-point shooting team.
As mentioned, they only make about 3 a game. Neither team had a run longer than 6-0 in that opening quarter. And Bays just lost the handle, or she probably would have pulled the trigger. On the drive, count the basket, foul on Kelsey Bowes.
Woo, Mama likes. I love footwork like that from a post player coming from the perimeter. And you know what? Some people might say she traveled, but it wasn't called, so we want to travel. But this is a nice, she kept that right pivot foot down, got a nice Sigma step through right there. And I just love to see how much of a face-up player we see Liz Cambage be at 6'8".
Kayla Thornton hustles, can't get it. Cambage, number 3 in the league in rebounding, number 2 in blocks per game. That's the first free throw miss by the Wings. They're 8 of 9. That's been one of the strong points, not only this season, but last season for Dallas. And our first look at Leticia Romero playing in her very first game. The 5'8", first-year player out of Florida State. Skylar uses the right hand, goes down hard. Skylar with 13. Leticia Romero got her first practice yesterday. She's been in town for, what, over a week, I guess it's been?
At least over a week, and she's just been waiting on that opportunity to hear the coast is clear, and we have your visa in check, and now she can enter the game.
Good job by Liz Cambage putting the hand up. We're still waiting for Kayla George. She's been cleared to come to the United States from Australia. Cambage, Johnny on the spot. No. I like the pep and the step, though, by Dallas so far.
I do, too. And you see it in the quarter court, their activity off the ball. As we see nice rotation by Alicia Gray to affect that shot. And we see it in transition as we see Skylar Diggins-Smith initiate that break with a nice pull-up for 2.
That is a tough shot. You're running full speed. You stop at 14 and you pop it.
Stop and pop, stop and pop.
There you go. 15 for Skylar. Dallas on a 6-0 run. Bill Lambier is going to be going back to his bench. Coffee. Liz may have gotten a piece of it. Hamby knocked it out, but it'll last touch by the Wings. Skylar Diggins-Smith already with 15 in the ball game.
Well, again, her activity defensively is awesome. We talk so much about her offense, but the defense is what sets this break up. And what a finish right at the rim by Skylar Diggins-Smith.
Las Vegas just 1 of 4 shooting so far here in the second. After shooting a blistering 53% of the opening quarter. Swartz has it knocked away, and it'll belong to the Aces with 1 on the shot clock. I think you made a great point. How are the legs of Las Vegas going to be? Let's see who it went off of.
Well, I think this is why we see Bill Lambier. Their offensive foul, legal screens called. Bill Lambier has gone to his bench early and often in this game, and you've got to think some of it has to be because of the schedule they've had as of late.
Well, Asia Wilson played 40 minutes in the game versus Indiana, played about 30 in the game versus New York. It was obviously Bill was trying to cut down their minutes in that New York game. This Cambage just kept the ball up high. If you were coaching a big, you'd probably show that tape, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, and we've already started to put film together for our post players at TCU of Liz Cambage because she doesn't rely just on her size. That would be a mistake.
It's getting physical. I love how Asia Wilson tried to get in the paint, and Kayla Thornton put the body on her immediately.
Well, Kayla Thornton has the strength to match Wilson pound for pound. But I think it's so smart of Fred to have that kind of a matchup.
Kelsey Plum, the all-time leading scorer in NCAA history when she graduated from Washington, gets the deuce. That is her first 2 points of the ball game. Not a big score for the Aces, only averaging over just over 5 points a ball game. Here's Cam Bayes backing down, up and under. Oh, my! A little Baskin-Robbins scoop.
Put that one on the highlight reel.
And then Kayla with the steal, and then the foul on Asia Wilson.
Well, this is the point of the game that you really feel like Dallas is not just dominating in the X's and O's, but they're starting to get into the Vegas' mindset in dominating that. And this type of play helps you do that because she's scored in so many different ways so far in this game.
Skylar off the backboard. Kayla tried to keep it alive, and Liz has it with 14 to shoot. Plenty of time. Leticia Romero tried to get her first two. Thornton is right there.
Well, we said that Dallas cannot allow a hard-working team like Vegas Aces outwork them, and they have not yet this game.
Dallas on a 12-2 run. Skylar Diggins-Smith leading the charge. 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and we still have over 6 minutes left in the half.
This is it. Messi's last World Cup. Let that sink in. A moment 3 billion people will be watching. This thing's bigger than the moon landing. If he comes up short, he's still Messi. But if he brings it home, he's the Messiah. Argentina versus Iceland. Coverage begins tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern on Fox.
Want to learn to play like the pros? Register today for Mavs Hoop Camp. Camps are open to boys and girls ages 8 to 18, and with 20 locations, there's one near you. Call 214-747-MAVS or go to Mavs.com/Basketball Academy for more info.
As children, we learn sports and games are just fun. It's a chance to be wild, to join a team, to run. As great sports live on, nothing makes us feel more alive than cheering as one. In Texas, we got sports everywhere. So turn the game on and join the fun.
Every week, Fox Sports Outdoors brings you on-the-water action, combined with current freshwater and coastal information from around the Southwest.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime deal right here.
Our team of experts covers the entire region and provides you with the latest real-time updates of what's happening at the lake and along the coast.
Now, at Lake Tawakoni, the hybrids are biting, and you'll find them on main lake humps as well.
Fox Sports Outdoors, Thursdays on Fox Sports Southwest.
Welcome back into College Park Center, where the Wings lead the Aces 37-26. I'm joined now by the TCU women's basketball team. Abby, your assistant coach, you played in the WNBA. How beneficial is it to bring these players out to see these players work?
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, this is their goal in their future, and when they get to see it and see players that they played in college, you know, it's self-motivation.
Now, Jordan's over here busy flexing for the flex cam, but Jordan, your coach is our color analyst. She's right down here. So is she a better coach or broadcaster?
Oh.
And beware, she's listening right now.
I would say broadcaster, you know, gotta keep it light, gotta keep it simple, keep it funny, yeah.
Come on, you heard it right there.
There's no right answer there for a player.
Well,
either way, would be like, well, I don't know.
Hey, Jordan, start running.
No.
We'll tell you when to stop.
But that is a woman that I'm just so stinking proud of. Like, she'll be a senior for us this year, and she's got a chance to be at this level, but she's grown in her game every single year you've watched her.
Absolutely. Dallas, 20 points in the paint so far in this game. They averaged 34.3. Here's Romero. Boy, she's a welcome addition. Skylar Diggins-Smith has been playing way too many minutes. Nice dish. Leticia Romero's first WNBA assist.
Well, what's great about that assist is she knows who she's throwing the ball to.
Yeah.
Don't feed a post player with their hands up down at her knees.
She told me before the game how excited and nervous she was as Wilson takes it to Thornton. Kayla didn't want to pick up that second foul, but the lead is still 11. Kayla gets a good look over Wilson. No. Romero, her first WNBA rebound. Liz wants to set the pick. Alicia Gray back in, off the left hand, no.
We're not best friends on the court.
No. We're going to give you some bump. We're going to give you some bump. You come down here.
Let's see if they even look at each other as they walk past one another after that block.
You know when they work out, it's probably gets vicious, when they were at South Carolina. Players don't like to lose. Doesn't matter if you're friends or not.
No, you hate losing more than you like winning.
Oh, I remember Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan in practice just killing each other. You're going, whoa.
Well, you just named two of the most competitive people as we see Liz Cambage rotate over and say, not today.
Liz Cambage, your 20th block of the season. High post, Park back in the game for the Aces. They're going to call that on Park, and that'll be her second personal foul. And it'll be the Wings ball. Side out. Interesting the matchups that Fred Williams has put in. You mentioned Skylar Diggins-Smith and Kayla Davis playing little point, and even Ariel Powers playing some point. Thornton to the hole, she's got 4.
Well, Skylar Diggins-Smith isn't their point and their captain, but They do play point guard by committee on this Dallas Wings team.
Las Vegas, the youngest team in the WNBA. Dallas is second. Just gets a nice home court roll for the visitor.
That's the footwork you talked about earlier in Park. And again, as only a 19-year-old, Liz Cambage can understand a little bit of what she's going through entering the league so young.
Started international play when she was 13 years old. Tied up, Wilson and Cambage. Let's take a look at Kayla Thornton. Comes in averaging just under 9 points a ball game.
Well, she's doing a great job of just reading the layers of that defense and sees that seam open. And again, not only does Kayla Thornton do something smart there, but Skylar Diggins-Smith at, 5'8" that she is posting up, and that absorbed defense and helped open that seam up.
Liz taps it. Gray tries to keep it alive, but throws it into the hands of Kelsey Plum. McBride. Young in the corner, knocks down the jumper. Young, her first field goal of the ball game.
I asked assistant coach Vicki Johnson, why is Tamara Young playing some of her best basketball in 10 years? And her answer was because Bill Lambier challenges her every single day. He doesn't allow her to be complacent. And he also said she said Tamara Young is not afraid of anything. And she's not going to be afraid of a challenge, and any challenge that Bill Lambier puts in front of her.
And you saw Vicki Johnson. She was the coach of San Antonio last year. One of the greats in New York Liberty history, was inducted into their Ring of Honor. 6 years on San Antonio staff. There's Vicki with Dan Hughes before becoming head coach. Has a house here still in Dallas, and she is one of the sweetest people you'd meet.
She is. She's a personal friend of mine, and we entered the league at the same time. We both were players, but Vicki Johnson is the only person to be a part of the league every single year since it started. 22 years. Happy 22nd anniversary, Vicki.
Absolutely. Inside, Cambage comes up with the rebound. Cambage looks, 17-footer, no. Young pulls it down. You're talking about Young. I call her a quiet scorer. She's one of those players. She averages 9.9, but you look down, you go, where did she get those points? Wilson, nice ball fake. And we've got a whistle and a foul. But Liz Cambay showing us the outside shot and the drive tonight, Reagan.
Again, I don't think we've seen her score in the same way twice so far. And we're going to continue to see Liz impact this game as the game continues.
Growing up in Indiana, you knew the game of basketball. Now, that's what you knew. I wanted to be the best.
Too easy for Skylar Diggins.
Coming back from my injury was one of the biggest hurdles in my professional career. I'd never been without the game of basketball before, so just being out there on the floor against my team was an accomplishment. I was really proud of that. I'm here to work.
The time is now. Let's do this!
Any group that has Germany may as well be the group of death. They're a precision-tuned defense-destroying machine. But Chicharito and El Tri are ready to take care of business. It's the Uber team versus the underdog. The power versus the passion. Germany versus Mexico. Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern on FS1.
Hey, Texas, if you're thinking about going fishing this weekend, make sure you watch the Texas Insider Fishing Report on Fox Sports Southwest. Join Captain Rick Murphy and Bree Gabrielle as we hear from captains across the state about what's biting and where to find them. Also, catch up on all the latest gear, fishing techniques, and a whole bunch more Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays on the Texas Insider Fishing Report on Fox Sports Southwest.
41-32 is our score. The Wings up on top. Let's take a look at the WNBA's leading scorer. And you're watching her tonight. Skylar Diggins-Smith, 22.1 a game. Tina Charles, Brianna Stewart. Stewart averaging 21.4. She'll be here on June the 24th. And you're also watching A'ja Wilson along with Brittany Griner. Saw her in the last game.
Well, we've talked about before in previous seasons the emergence of the utility post player, and they're really not posts. They're just great basketball players, as we see Brittany Griner on there. But everybody else on that list that is, over 6'1" is a face-up player, and it's just fun to see that skill development continue to grow and be utilized.
A'ja Wilson at the line. Player of the Year 2018, four-time All-American, two-time SEC Defensive Player of the Year. And now Las Vegas is on a 7-2 run over the last 3 minutes, so that 13-point advantage is cut to 8. Skylar on the cut, gives it up. Kayla got the 2. You and I have talked, and when you're coaching, I talk about it, closing out half. You have to do it.
It's so important because it changes the conversation that coaches have to have with their team during that little break.
Plum gives it up. Young got it. Kelsey Plum with the assist. That is her second of the ball game. Young's got 4. The lead stays at 8. Inside of 1:55 to play here in the second. Davis trying to fight through Young and get the post and got it. Has it knocked away. Still fights. Has it knocked away again.
We see this Kelsey Plum, one of the, if not, she's actually the top scorer in college basketball. She struggled in her early WNBA career. Injuries part of the reason, lack of minutes played, but I really believe that playing for a coach like Bill Lambier will serve Kelsey Plum so well in the long run because she's going to learn the value of defense.
Absolutely.
And we all know Kelsey Plum can score, but you got to defend in this league as well, and I know he's growing her as a defender.
Well, coming up at halftime, we've got a very packed halftime. We'll have a feature on diversity and pride. Plus, we'll have a very special feature on Ann Donovan, one of the greats in the history of women's basketball who passed away. We've got an outstanding feature on her, and Reagan will be sharing her thoughts on what she meant to the game of basketball. Not just women's basketball, but basketball in general.
Absolutely, and very shocking and horrific news for so many people in the game of women's basketball.
Teammate of our good friend Nancy Lieberman when she was at ODU. That's a kick. I want to go back to Kelsey Plum, just kind of put a bow on that. You made a comment last year, which I thought was good. When she was at Washington, the offense went through her. It has been an adjustment to not have the offense go through you.
Absolutely. I mean, moving into the WNBA, there's adjustments galore that you have to make as we see Skylar Diggins-Smith again find that opportunity right at the rim. But just like Skylar Diggins-Smith had to make that adjustment, Kelsey Plum will too. It just is going to take time, patience, and grit.
Alicia Gray comes up with it. Davis up ahead. Boy, Glory Johnson ran the floor so well. Now she's battling on the inside. Glory, tough fall away, doesn't get it. Boy, but Glory was battling from the time she went over the timeline. Final 32 seconds. Oh, that was a defensive lapse. Somebody.
Gorgeous read by Tamara Young right there. Just a little crossover off of that on-ball screen. Refused it and got a wide open seam to the rim.
Tamara Young now with 6. About a 2-second different shot of the game clock. Skylar took her eye off it and Plum kept her eye on it. Skylar pulls the trigger, doesn't get it. And the Aces are going to run out the clock, and that's going to do it. First 5 minutes of the second quarter, Dallas had a 14-5 scoring advantage, but the last 5 minutes of the second, it was Vegas 13-6. And our halftime score, 45-39. Dallas Wings lead it by 6 at intermission. On the other side of the break, we'll have a very special feature on Diversity Night and also Ann Donovan. Stay with us.
The time is now. Let's do this!
When it comes to your health, you want one place that can go the distance with you. As the largest not-for-profit healthcare system in Texas, Baylor Scott & White Health has the resources, the technology, and the expertise. From primary care to precision medicine, all under one name. So no matter where life finds you, today or in years to come, trust that we'll be there to care for you. To find a Baylor Scott & White physician, visit bswhealth.com.
The time is now. Let's do this!
Welcome back into College Park Center where the Wings lead the Aces 45-39. Now the WNBA as a whole decides to make a difference in the community and they respect those core values of inclusion, equality, and respect.
In 2018, we know the Dallas Wings play an energetic, highly skilled, exciting brand of basketball. On any given night, fans get to watch 24 of the best basketball players in the world play the most exciting game in the world. On the court, it is clear players are committed to a pursuit of excellence, an unrivaled passion for the game. Off the court, the team is equally devoted to championing the values that make this game so special: equality, inclusion, and diversity. Through programs like Pride Night, the Dallas Wings look to bring people together and celebrate our collective love for basketball.
I think that's nice for women just to support each other in general. And then you see the younger women growing up, and that's what they know. We're not just focused on men playing sports or even boys playing sports and, being tough and rough. And, women do it too. And as long as we continue to support each other, it'll go way further.
Yeah, I just think what the WNBA gives, just little girls an opportunity. It doesn't even have to be basketball, I don't think. It's just an opportunity to know that, hey, you can do something and be taken seriously, and you can find something, and that's your dream.
Overcoming obstacles is a theme of the WNBA, and indeed, the concept extends well beyond basketball. Anyone, regardless of the path they walk in life, should be able to do what they love.
I don't really see myself as a role model. I'm just another girl trying to get through the day. But, I get younger girls sliding into DMs that, may be bullied or be struggling with being tall. And, I feel like everyone's given a gift, and, you might be short, you might be tall, but you can play basketball, you can do whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter how tall you are, how big you are, how fast you are. There's something for you in the world.
For more than 2 decades, the women of the WNBA have taken pride in shattering stereotypes and inspiring others to do the same.
You can do it regardless of anything that you're going through. You're in control of your life, and you can do it.
Stay tuned for a special feature on the legendary Ann Donovan here coming up. She's made such a difference on the game of basketball.
The time is now. Let's do this!
This is it, Messi's last World Cup. Let that sink in. A moment 3 billion people will be watching. This thing's bigger than the moon landing. If he comes up short, he's still Messi. But if he brings it home, he's the Messiah. Argentina versus Iceland. Coverage begins tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern on Fox.
Congratulations to the Boys and Girls Club Great Futures Teen of the Month, Elijah Wen. Elijah is focused on school and has a 3.4 GPA while receiving dual credit for both English and pre-algebra courses. He enjoys helping his community by participating in service projects, supporting youth basketball and senior citizens. Elijah is excited for the chance to be a first-generation college student next year at Texas State University. Join Fox Sports Southwest in supporting the Boys and Girls Clubs of America.
Do you want to make watching the FIFA World Cup even better? All you have to do is click. With the new Fox Sports app, streaming every match from anywhere you are is easy. Because this is your personal nerve center for everything FIFA World Cup, reminding you what's on and when. Giving you multiple angles of the match so you won't miss a moment. And you can impress your friends with the FIFA World Cup Highlight Machine, sponsored by Adidas. Take the FIFA World Cup everywhere you go with the new Fox Sports app. Download it today.
As children, we learn sports and games are just fun. It's a chance to be wild, to join a team, to run. As great sports live on, nothing makes us feel more alive than cheering as one. In Texas, we got sports everywhere. So turn the game on and join the fun.
Ann Donovan became nationally known as a freshman at Old Dominion, where she helped the Lady Monarchs to a national championship in 1980. She went on to win the Naismith College Player of the Year Award in 1983.
Ann Donovan changed the game. She was intelligent. She was a team player. She was a factor on both offense, defense, unselfish. Really a great teammate to have.
At 6'8", Donovan also became a centerpiece of the U.S. women's national team, winning Olympic gold in 1984 and again in 1988.
She was one of the best that ever played, and she proved it. She's the ultimate winner.
Ann would begin her WNBA coaching career in Indiana and then led the Charlotte Sting to the WNBA Finals in 2001. Donovan's next coaching stop would be Seattle. She became the first female coach to win a WNBA championship when the Storm took the title in 2004.
She was a lot of fun to play for, very easy to play for. She really understood what it was like to be a player, and I thought that was really valuable.
She definitely was one of my good friends, and she taught me a lot. She worked really hard on broadening my offensive game. She was a great coach.
Player screen on the back, and go off the ball screen, and can't do another down screen.
Donovan returned to the international stage as head coach of the 2008 Olympic team, leading the way in Beijing. She would earn her third Olympic championship. A Hall of Fame player. A beloved head coach. Ann Donovan will be remembered as a pioneering figure in the history of basketball. Reagan, it was a very emotional time, obviously, for our friend Nancy Lieberman. Your thoughts on Ann?
Well, when you talk of Ann Donovan, every significant mark on women's basketball's timeline, she's been a part of. And as you watch that fantastic footage, you see all the faces she interacted with. Some of the best that have played our game have been coached by her. Dawn Staley, Tina Thompson, Sue Bird, Lauren Jackson. So you see that the effect will continue of Ann Donovan. And myself personally, I'm 6'4" myself. Grew up with a dad who took me to gyms, and all I did was play with boys, watch boys, see men play. Ann Donovan was the first one that I saw. And I don't want to get too emotional here, but the first one that I saw that gave me the aha moment of what I can do with this game and work ethic and my height. And it was a woman. Yeah. And that changed it all for me. And I know she did that for so many people, as we heard talked about in that piece.
Very special to you, very special to millions of basketball players, men and women across the country. She will be missed. Second half of basketball coming up from Dallas.
The time is now. Let's do this!
When it comes to your health, you want one place that can go the distance with you. As the largest not-for-profit healthcare system in Texas, Baylor Scott & White Health has the resources, the technology, and the expertise. From primary care to precision medicine, all under one name. So no matter where life finds you, today or in years to come, trust that we'll be there to care for you. To find a Baylor Scott & White physician, visit bswhealth.com.
The time is now. Let's do this!
Any group that has Germany may as well be the group of death.
Germany wins the World Cup
They're a precision-tuned defense-destroying machine. But Chicharito and El Tri are ready to take care of business. It's the Uber team versus the underdog. The power versus the passion. Germany versus Mexico. Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern on FS1.
Come on now. Speak for yourself. All I'm saying is... Throw the scripts out. Listen, Whitlock, I'm a polarized fire starter. Whitlock has created a fire. This corrupt system. Calm down. Stop. I am what I am. Cowherd. Here's my problem with what has happened in the American media. We have deep-rooted issues. Colin, who goes to a stadium looking for an opinion? Here comes the Twitter avalanche. That's the way you do it.
This copyrighted telecast of WNBA Enterprises may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise used in any form without the express written consent of WNBA Enterprises.
Dallas Wings basketball is brought to you by Baylor Scott & White Health. To find Dr. Wright right now, visit bswhealth.com/doc. 5 ties, 5 lead changes. Wings led by 13. They lead now 45-39. Here's Fred Williams with Alexa.
Thanks, Ron. Coach, your team's up by 6. You're shooting 46% from the field. What are you liking from your team so far?
Well, I think the ball movement, we have more energy of sharing the basketball. And, we're looking to spot up a little bit more on the backside. So players are able to either take a jumper or, drive to the rim.
And I know second half energy is a big thing for this team. You gain more depth on the bench tonight. So how do you want to sustain that for the second half?
Well, I think, with us using our bench, Morero is doing a great job for us, and so I look to utilize her a little bit more in the third quarter. But it's good to have a full roster where I can put some fresh bodies in there.
Full roster is good to have. Thanks for your time, Coach. Back to you, Ron.
All right, I bet you he likes it. I mean, you go back to 2 years ago, I think out of the 34 games, we had the full lineup for 17 of them or something like that. Kind of been that case this season.
It has been. And, he talks about the fresh bodies that he's been able to use and how that is a big morale booster for their team. But, Skylar Diggins-Smith still hasn't come out of the game, and that's such a testament, again, as we sing her praises to her conditioning and her work ethic and relentlessness and how important she is to this Wings squad.
Well, Skylar and Liz have scored a double digits every game this season. They lead the Wings with 17 for Skylar and 15 for Liz so far. That foul, by the way, was on Alicia Gray. She did not like the call. Young tries to execute the pick and roll. Park has it poked away. Kayla Thornton wisely holds it up, gets it into the hands of Davis. We knew that Kayla Davis would be playing a little bit of point. Talked to her about a week or two ago about it. She goes, I'm up for it. I'd like to try it. Baseline, flick of the wrist, jumper, Kayla Davis. She's got 8.
Well, patient ball movement again by Dallas. And Coach Fred Williams talked about that to Alexa Shaw. He loved how we moved the ball and shared the ball there.
Nice job defensively. Wings getting the hand, just tipping the ball. You and I were talking during the break of setting the tone early if you're the Wings here in the first few minutes.
Deflections are so important. They cause hesitation and indecision by the offense, and that's what the Wings are doing defensively. Is not just getting steals, they're getting deflections.
We have a whistle and a foul down low. And that's going to be on Kelsey Plum. That'll be her second personal foul. First team foul here in the second half. But how about the game right now that Kayla Davis is playing? 8 points. That's the most she has had since the Seattle game back on June 2nd. 1 more point will be the most she's had since the second game of the year. Shot clock at 2. Gambay's walked with it. 6th turnover for the Wings so far in the ball game.
Well, that's footwork that she's gotten away with a few times this game, and that's something you never know at halftime if that's something officials say, hey, we got to keep an eye on this as this third quarter begins.
Well, Dallas averages about 15.5 turnovers a ball game. McBride has been closed down pretty quickly. Nice pass, Wilson. She averages almost 2 assists a game, and that was sweet.
Well, we're seeing the Las Vegas Aces this quarter really try and capitalize off of some mismatches because Dallas is doing a lot of switching. And Dallas in that possession, because of the switching, had that mismatch on the backside.
Kayla kept it alive, and I think Kayla Davis stepped out of bounds. And that'll be another turnover.
As frenetic as the first half was so far this third quarter, I don't think we've gone 2 possessions without a whistle.
Screeching halt. Love working on Skylar. Skylar goes right under the pick, comes up, tried to come up with a steal. Shot clock at 10. Wilson has it tipped away. Davis pulls it down.
The deflection leads to the steal.
Skylar spotting up. They go inside. Cambage. Nice pass. Kayla. Liz can't finish it. And Young out front. Now Wilson. Cambage comes over to help. Wilson doesn't stop. Just yanks it up there. She's in double digits with 10.
Well, a deep post touch like that in transition is going to turn into 2 points more times than not.
10 points for Wilson on only 6 shot attempts. She averages about 14 field goal attempts a game. That's going to be an offensive foul. They're going to call it on Gray. She wants to know why.
Well, I know frustration can settle in, but the Dallas Wings have got to really fight against this and keep their focus on what the task is at hand. What can you control? And yeah, Alicia Gray's upset about that foul call, but next play, next possession, and gain momentum in this game.
Park may have gotten away with a little shuffling of the feet. Instead, she gets her 6th point of the ball game. That doubles her season average, but the last 3 games now, she's scored 6 points. Skylar with the floater, can't get it. Wings have gone cold here in the third. Only 2 points for Dallas, 6 for Las Vegas here in quarter number 3.
Well, basketball is a game of runs, and you've got to grow and mature and being able to sustain runs and stop runs and start your own. A defense like this will help that start.
Well, Thornton was wide open. Kayla, no. Wings now 1 of 5 in the quarter. Dallas just 6 points in the last 8 minutes. Park, flick of the wrist. Tipped into the hands of Thornton. Up ahead, Liz. Easy 2.
Kayla Thornton is such an important link to the chain of the Dallas Wings. She's battling down there. Physical with Asia Wilson, able to come up with a loose ball rebound, which led to that score for Dallas.
Wilson just faces up. That was a tough shot for the rookie. Almost made it.
And again, I love the matchup of Kayla Thornton on Asia Wilson, because if you put Liz Cambage on her, that puts Liz in vulnerable fouling positions.
Kayla Thornton now with a half a dozen. Lead stretched to 6. Inside Wilson. She is just so good. We were talking a while ago that being under Bill Lambert's tutelage, because he was a big who could score in the NBA, that's going to help, I think, Asia Wilson.
Well, and again, scoring is so important, but he's also really allowing her to emerge as a great defender. I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the year as we see Liz Cambage muscle it right down into that score and a foul.
LG Sue was parked in the lane, but Cambage went over her. 4:43 left to play in the third. Liz Cambage gets out on the break. Cambage with 19 in the ball game to lead the Wings.
This is it. Messi's last World Cup. Let that sink in. A moment 3 billion people will be watching. This thing's bigger than the moon landing. If he comes up short, he's still Messi. But if he brings it home, he's the Messiah. Argentina versus Iceland. Coverage begins tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern on Fox.
That's a great question.
That's a great question. Interesting question, and there's a nuance to it.
In the spotlight with Fran Healy.
She would say, all they got to do is crack the door for you, and you knock that damn thing down.
One of my teammates looked at me and said, you know, you're too tall for football. Now, of course, I wasn't.
When you recruit them, you got them for life. You can't get rid of them. Some of them you might want to get rid of.
Breaking the record is just a start. Overcoming the pressure is a necessity. You have to do more than just get it close or have the greatest comeback ever. You have to play through the pain. That's how you leap from the edge of greatness and become legendary. U.S. Open, tomorrow at 11 a.m. on Fox. All part of the USGA Championships presented by Rolex.
For the last 60 seconds, Dallas on a 6-2 run. They've opened up a lead by 6. Well, the other night, Washington had a big win over Connecticut, and tonight they played host to Los Angeles, came up on the short end of the stick in Connecticut, and the Storm will hook up at 9 p.m. our time, 7 p.m. Pacific. But I'll tell you, Mike Thibault does a great job as you look at the standings with Washington and Connecticut. What can you say about Kirk now tied with the Sparks for the top spot?
Well, and it's starting to become that time of the season where you start to see the real separation. Obviously, at the other end, you got Indiana Fever with a deep hole to dig themselves out of. But I love seeing that top half of the league really starting to solidify themselves as contenders for this the top spot in the WNBA.
Now the Wings now 9 of 10 from the free throw line, pushed the lead to 7. Almost a backcourt violation. Allen is a very nifty point guard. Almost doubled her assists per game this season from last year. Pops up front. Mariel Powers comes out to meet her. Nice job. Bone throws it. Goes around Cambage and is fouled. Let's take a look at those standings once again. And you look at the standings. Dallas conceivably could be 6-2.
They could, but that's past.
Exactly.
And it's 2020, obviously, when you can look with hindsight. But, you know, what's funny about the WNBA schedule as well is you look at a team like the Minnesota Lynx and you're like, huh? I mean, the Minnesota Lynx, they are not at the top 2 spots, but they've also had one of the toughest schedules to start.
Exactly.
And as we continue this season on, it'll be interesting to watch how that team evolves.
They'll be there when it's all said and done. Skyler can't get it to go and gives a quick slap of the hand, a little frustrated. Allen gives it up. McBride started the game hot, whistle and a foul. And she will go to the line. McBride had 11 points in that opening quarter. Only 2 since then. She goes to the stripe.
And she's scored double digits in all of their games, I believe, but 1 in their season so far. Averaging, I think, about 15 points in the last 2 games, and she's really growing in her confidence.
College Park Center is proud to be the home of the Dallas Wings. Learn more about UTA and College Park Center events at utatickets.com. McBride, 78% from the line. That's the lead down to 5. We've got 4 left in the third. Davis wheels around. Cambage a little far off her mark. Defensive 3 seconds. And that'll be a defensive 3-second call, and that'll be a technical foul and send Schuyler to the line.
Well, it was a good call, and I know that's something that you don't get if you're constantly pushing the ball and not ever forcing defense to have to guard. And what I love about that possession right there for the Dallas Wings is they started to get back to moving the ball, sharing the ball, swinging it from side to side, and then you can test and see how they're really going to play Liz Cambage in the post.
Well, Leticia Romero comes back into the lineup. Once again, her first game for the Dallas Wings. Had some visa problems. And we're glad to have her part of our squad. Glory Johnson, the scoop and the score. And Glory with 3 in the ball game. The lead goes back to 8. Coffey sees a little bit of room. Cambage probably deflected that a little bit. Schuyler pulls up. AP inside, can't get it. Still waiting for Aerial Powers just to kick it into that gear. McBride knocks down the 3. Their third of the ball game in 3 attempts.
I think Aerial Powers is waiting on it too, and patience is important for a player that's in the situation that she's in. She's got to find her flow back to the game, and she's had a lot of injuries in the offseason coming into missing the entire preseason training camp and has not been able to find it. And it takes, I think, trusting the system, trusting your other teammates, letting the offense come to you instead of forcing it.
I feel like she's pressing it now, don't you?
Yeah, I do think so. And again, patience and maturity will only help them.
Well, how about Liz Cambage getting the big hand up? Up ahead, Glory made a nice save. Takes it, hangs in the air, rolls it around and down. Glory with 7 with a chance to add 1 more.
Glory Johnson does such a great job of changing her paces and being explosive. And you see just that little hesitation she does allows that defender to pop out of their stance just a little bit. And she knows exactly when to explode out of that hesitation. And it's so difficult for people to match up to a player like Glory Johnson.
And Schuyler Diggins-Smith is finally going to get a breath. They're going to play Romero and Kayla Davis in the backcourt, unless AP slides over. As she completes the 3-point play, Glory 2 for 2 in this quarter, 8 points in the ball game. Comes in averaging 9. Wilson, big sweeping hand. It just takes Glory to the hole.
I'll tell you one other thing that Bill Lambier is really doing well by A'ja Wilson in her young career is putting her in triangle offense. That's an offense that, as we know, can really help a player develop their versatility, their IQ, and expose and highlight all that they can do.
Well, I thought Glory was going to get the home court bounce. Didn't do it. Wings lead it by a half a dozen. Cambage pulls down the rebound. 13 rebounds for Liz Cambage. Much better than what she did against Phoenix the other night. Now she's trying to post on Kelsey Bone, and a whistle and a foul will be called.
We talk a lot and have talked a lot about how officials have called all of this contact on Liz Cambage, and it's such a challenge for these officials, and I don't envy their position at all to be able to really assess the initial contact and what's too much and what's not enough.
And here comes McBride. Nice rejection by Glory Johnson. Glory with only her 3rd block of the season.
You know, Glory gives a little bit of the Dikembe Mutombo not in my house head nod right here. I love the tune that she plays with.
Liz Cambage, most rebounds in the last 4. Tries to pull her way up, doesn't get it. Final 70 seconds here in the 3rd. The teams have played even, both scoring 15 points here in the 3rd stanza. working on aerial powers, and that's going to be a foul called on AP. Erica Hamby will check back into the lineup for the Aces. Azure Stevens will come in for the Wings. They're going to give Wilson a little bit of break for the final 56.7. And Liz Cambage will also go out.
A very young lineup on the floor right now, with really the only player with more than 2 years of experience on the floor is Glory Johnson.
McBride is fouled on the play. And that's going to be on Azure Stevens.
It's not the best way you want to enter a game.
Not really. Come in and make a foul?
Within the first 3 seconds.
See, I look at you when things like that happen, when you're coaching, and the look on your face is just like, oh, no.
Well, if I'm giving a look, maybe I need more Botox. I got to hide my face a little bit better.
Want to remind you, Sunday, June 24th is Asian American Heritage Night presented by Asia Times Square. Come see your Dallas Wings take on the Seattle Storm at 3 p.m. at College Park Center. Go to DallasWings.com and get your tickets today. Already with one win over Seattle this season, trying to make it 2 in a row, and the lead is cut down to 4. Final 45 seconds here in quarter number 3. Ten to shoot. Kayla Davis, jump stop, gets the roll.
I love it when players can get into that pull-up off a 2. It makes them so powerful and explosive.
KD now in double figures with 10. That's the most points she has had since May 20th. 9-second difference, shot of the game clock. McBride. Hamby, she'll launch it. The 3 won't go. Glory pulls down the rebound. Her 3rd of the ball game, or 4th of the ball game.
Ariel's looking like, hey, that was my stat. That was my board.
Romero, nice dish. Kayla for 3 at the buzzer, no. So the teams play even in the 3rd, 17 points apiece. We're 10 minutes away to see if the Wings can close out this 2-game homestand with a victory. Wings lead it 62-56.
The time is now. Let's do this!
Any group that has Germany may as well be the group of death. They're a precision-tuned defense-destroying machine. But Chicharito and El Tri are ready to take care of business. It's the Uber team versus the underdog. The power versus the passion. Germany versus Mexico. Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern on FS1.
Breaking the record is just a start. Overcoming the pressure is a necessity. You have to do more than just get it close or have the greatest comeback ever. You have to play through the pain. That's how you leap from the edge of greatness and become legendary. U.S. Open, tomorrow at 11 a.m. on Fox. All part of the USGA Championships presented by Rolex.
Welcome back in the College Park Center where the fans are enjoying this atmosphere. The Wings lead by 6. Now the Dallas Wings have faced adversity this season with lots of injuries, lack of depth on the bench, but Skylar Diggins-Smith continues to lead this team with her work ethic, poise, and determination. And take a look at this video. She stayed after their tough loss against Phoenix earlier this week to high-five every single one of the fans that stayed after the game. Ron and Reagan, I think that just shows the type of person and amazing player that she is.
Absolutely, and she understands the responsibility that goes with being the face of this franchise.
Absolutely, and you think, well, of course she's doing that. You should be doing that, but I'm telling you, as you and I are around a lot of athletes and professional athletes, they don't all do that.
That's exactly right.
And she's doing it for the right reasons. Her why is in the right place. She understands that she is a role model, and she values that responsibility.
Whistle at a foul. I remember last year, and we're going to do it again this year, July 4th parade at Trophy Club last year, and the players will be there again this season in this parade. And we had Kayla Davis and Glory Johnson who were riding in the back of a car. It's about 95 degrees. Glory and Kayla looked at me and they go, we got to get out. We're going to walk among the people. And they walked the 2.3-mile parade route. Glory inside. And I was kidding them. In fact, tonight I said, we want you back. And they spend more time hugging dogs and little kids, the whole parade route.
Well, I've always said that something that's really special about women's basketball and female athletes in general is that they're approachable. They're touchable. Yep. They have a genuine appreciation and gratitude for the fans that respect what they're doing. And they are willing to build a relationship. And I love watching, and we just got done with our camp at TCU for the young ones. We've got our high school camp next week. But I love watching how the little ones look at them.
Exactly.
Eyes are always watching you.
All the time, and that's how probably all these players started. Wings now by 7. Early on here in quarter number 4, the Wings go on a road trip, trying to win their 3rd game out of their last 4 tonight. 6 to shoot. Hamby facing up. That's going to be an offensive foul on Hamby. That'll be her first personal foul.
Well, that was a pretty strong forearm right there into Glory Johnson's chest. Glory did a great job. She didn't even have to sell that. That was legit in every kind of way.
Leticia Romero still in the lineup. Skylar came back in. Good hustle by Kayla. That's going to be a travel. If you want to know where the ball is, just look for Kayla Thornton. Chances are she's around it somewhere.
No kidding. No kidding.
That'll be the 11th turnover for the Dallas Wings. 9 for Las Vegas so far. 7-point advantage. I'm surprised Leticia Romero has the stamina. She's played some fairly decent minutes tonight.
Well, she's not a player, I think, that allows herself to get out of shape. So while she was waiting for a call from some team, I guarantee she was working out.
Kayla battles, ends up in the hands of Cam Bays. Quickly outlet to Skylar. Wings go into their offense. Glory doesn't get it. Rebound. Glory Johnson took more three-pointers last season and made more threes than in the first 4 years of her career combined, but I don't like that shot now.
No, the timing of it's got to be important. You got to know not just what, but when.
Glory Johnson pulls down the rebound. That's her 5th of the ball game. Wings need a little bit of a run here.
The way you do it is by getting the ball to Liz Cambage inside and really forcing defense to make decisions. You got a double teamer, which opens up that kick out and allows open, uncontested shots. And that doesn't go down for Glory, but it's an uncontested shot as we continue to see the Wings struggle from the three-point line.
And they're only 1 of 14. The last 3 games coming into tonight, they were 4 of 16 in each of the contests. And they just haven't had it tonight from 3. Normally on the season, about 31% and 6 makes. Glory doing a good job defensively on the boards. Skyler pull up from 16. And the Wings have gone cold. Both teams have.
They've gone cold, and I've got to say that they're not getting any second chance opportunities. The offensive rebounding has been zilch to none this quarter.
Only 1 point scored here in the third. Skyler tries to change that. Jisoo Park with a rejection. Baseline cut off. A reverse, no. Shot clock at 10. Thornton brings it back out.
You need to have a recognition that ball did not hit the rim on Skyler's shot as Leticia recognizes it late.
Skyler lets it fly, doesn't get it. And it'll be Las Vegas's basketball as Kelsey Plum will check back into the lineup along with Kayla McBride for the Aces. Boy, this is not a pretty quarter.
Fairly anemic.
Yes.
I would say in the scoring.
Yeah, we played over 3 minutes. The only points scored have been from the Dallas Wings. McBride working on Thornton. Pull up 16. No. Glory just takes it away from McBride. 7 rebounds for Glory Johnson in the game. Came in averaging just 5. Looking for some more ball movement.
Well, we see it right there. And a great opportunity to, again, move Liz Cambage around. Let her become a screen center, an on-ball screen, compromise her defender, which opened her up for that easy roll.
Cambage now 22 in the ball game to lead all scores for both teams. McBride's got 20. Plum, no place to go. Shot clock at 8. Love, nice job, Romero. Goes for the steal, hangs up in the air. I tell you, good defense by Leticia Romero. Skyler, her Curly Neal impersonation. There's probably nobody. Thank you. Okay, good. As soon as it started to come out of my mouth, I go, nobody's going to know who that is. Romero, no. Las Vegas's last field goal came to the 2:17 mark of the third. Kayla Thornton thought she had the block. What do you think, Coach?
Well, I've got to see it from the angle that Brenda Bedoya saw that. And while it looked clean up top, I don't think it was from the bottom.
Dallas Wings basketball is brought to you by Baylor Scott & White Health. To find Dr. Wright, right now visit bswhealth.com/doc.
The time is now. Let's do this!
When it comes to your health, you want one place that can go the distance with you. As the largest not-for-profit healthcare system in Texas, Baylor Scott & White Health has the resources, the technology, and the expertise. From primary care to precision medicine, all under one name. So no matter where life finds you, today or in years to come, trust that we'll be there to care for you. To find a Baylor Scott & White physician, visit bswhealth.com.
The time is now. Let's do this!
This is it. Messi's last World Cup. Let that sink in. A moment 3 billion people will be watching. This thing's bigger than the moon landing. If he comes up short, he's still Messi. But if he brings it home, he's the Messiah. Argentina versus Iceland. Coverage begins tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern on Fox.
We have Wings, we have Aces, and we have Princesses here tonight. 65-56 our score. Wings have the advantage. Want to tell you about the upcoming games on Tuesday. Wings will visit the Target Center to take on the Minnesota Lynx. Then back-to-back home games, the 22nd against the Sparks, and then the 24th at 3 o'clock Central Time. They take on the Seattle Storm, and of course you can see those two games right here on Fox Sports Southwest.
It's brutal. The schedule is brutal. But I'm telling you what, that's the quality of the WNBA right now, is that there's so many great teams and so many great players in this league. There's no game that you can be like, dub, easy.
I know. I mean, you know, Indiana has struggled this season, but I think what they've done for that team, they've got a lot of great youth. That's going to be a team that you have to reckon with in the future.
It will be.
And they've had close games. It's not like they're getting blown out. Cambays, 24 tonight. That's
how you come out of the timeout. You execute right away. You put the ball where the money's at, and that's Liz Cambays.
Cambays with that big wingspan. Park had no place to go. 5 to play, 9 to shoot. Plum lets it fly, and they knock it down. 4 of 5 from beyond the arc, and then the Wings turned it over.
Okay, Kelsey Plum, I see you right now, finding that little groove.
And it's going to belong to Las Vegas. The stats are misleading. I mean, this is the all-time score in women's basketball history. You got to get on her.
Well, you can't hardly count her rookie year as a rookie year. It was just so inconsistent with her ability to play again because of injuries. And you know she's going to get it figured out. It's just a matter of time.
And she also, missed the preseason, got here late. Has the last 5 points.
Watch out.
And all of a sudden, the lead is 4.
And you can see her team like, okay, that's why we brought you here, Kelsey Plum. Let's see you keep it up.
Well, her season high is 12. She's got 9. Wings need to answer. Thornton's trying to post. Glory with 5 to shoot. Working on Wilson. The scoop doesn't get it. Goes down hard. And Thornton goes down. And she gets busted in the mouth. They were playing 5-on-3. Glory went down. And I think Kayla got it right in the mouth. Now, Kayla wears braces.
Well, that right there is because 2 players, 2 teammates who put it all out on the line, hustle and go after every loose ball. We're doing their job. And it's incidental collision right there. But it was hard. And, of course, our incredible camera crew is going to have it for us, and we get to take a look at it right here. But right here, just going, and she got whacked. Ron, have you ever gotten hit on the nose right there? Holy cow, you can't think right.
No, your eyes water. Yeah, she gets popped pretty good. And
Kayla Thornton might be asking for the foul.
Really? Allison Russell.
Somebody fouled me.
Well, the outstanding trainer for the Dallas Wings, Allison Russell, the pride of Tulsa, Oklahoma, is going to take her in the locker room. Kayla Davis takes off the jersey, the sweats, and she's going to come back in.
Well, right now, the real MVP needs to be Allison Russell because we need Kayla Thornton's tail back out here as soon as possible at the end of this game. But, Liz Cambage, as important as what Thornton's done, you can't talk about the Dallas Wings without talking about Liz Cambage. And again, her versatility in scoring, back to the basket, facing up, putting it on the floor. And look, the woman can shoot too, and we know she's changing shots. She's a rim protector and impacts the possession every single time she's on the floor.
Well, she only had 10 in the last game, so this is the Liz Cambage that was the player of the week a couple of weeks ago. 24 and 16, 4 double-doubles already this season.
It's so important that Dallas continues to foster her confidence, her growth, and I really think it's fun watching her. I've watched her overseas. I've watched when she was 19 here. Right. And one of the biggest differences I'm seeing is she looks like she's enjoying it.
I think so.
She's allowed to be herself out there and be expressive and be a leader and have emotion and, be challenged too. Every game's not easy. She's not out there dominating all the time. She's being challenged, and I think we're seeing a Liz Cambage that is defying reputation a little bit.
Well, the Wings had called a 20, but they were over the allotment of 20-second timeout, so they had to have a full timeout. But the Wings still with 2 full timeouts remaining. Dallas, fourth quarter is usually pretty good for them. They've scored 20 or more points in 7 of 8 games this season. Currently, they only have 5 points in this quarter. Las Vegas has 7. Now, Kelsey Plum, though, it's been her show.
This is those situations as a coach when you're like, oh, I thought I only had to talk to him for 30 seconds.
Yeah, really.
and now they all do they want to hear more or not? But, yeah, I mean, we go back to your point on Kelsey Plum. Just, again, experience, as we talked about it with Park. So many of these players, and, definitely as this youth of the league and this special rookie class this season is getting done. We're only going to see Kelsey Plum get better and better and better. And like I said, I think playing for Bill Laimbeer, as tough as it might be, it will serve her career in the long run.
Probably the only anthropology major playing in the WNBA, Kelsey Plum. That I know of. And now Alicia Gray is going to be on Plum. McBride working on Schuyler. The scoop and the score. And it's down to a 2-point lead. Wings got to get something going. Have been outscored by 4 here in the fourth. Schuyler has it knocked out. 11 to shoot. Wings will have it.
Well, what I love about the situation that the Wings are in this close game is that no one's in foul trouble, especially your 2 studs in Liz Cambage and Schuyler Diggins-Smith.
Exactly. Nobody really in foul trouble. Cambage has 3, and Alicia Gray has 3. Wilson and Park have 3, along with Kelsey Bone 3 for Las Vegas. And Kayla back out.
Good job, Allison Russell.
There you go. She's got the magic touch over there. They switch with Wilson now. Now they come back over and pick up Schuyler. Alicia Gray for 3. Liz Cambage just keeps the ball up high.
I'll take that. And then 2 to go with it.
Las Vegas had pulled to within 2. That's the closest they had been since the first quarter. Now the Wings expanded to 4. Young knocks over Gray. They're going to call that a blocking foul, and that'll be 4 on Alicia.
Look, it's a tough play. It came off of a dribble handoff, allows you to attack that tunnel downhill, and you are challenged. Are you going to switch it and cause a mismatch? Are you going to fight through it? But great job by the Aces. And look, I got to say this. Nobody calls a blocking foul better than Brenda Pantoja. She just has that move down. I love it.
She really did. You go back to the...
And I'm talking about the mechanics of it.
Yes.
Like, is she... like J-Lo out there, okay?
She really is. See, that's like the old days. The old officials like Jake O'Donnell and the NBA officials, they had some pizzazz when they made calls. Alicia Gray picked up the foul. She is 0 for 3 in this ball game from the field. Liz Cambage, season high in rebounds. 8 to shoot. Schuyler. Good job defensively by Las Vegas. Glory Johnson.
So we talk about...
And the steal, and then Schuyler's fouled.
We talk about defense, and right there we see a huge play made for the Dallas Wings. But we also talk about, Ron, what makes Schuyler Diggins-Smith special. It's not her height, it's not her speed, but it's her IQ, it's her work ethic, but it's also her patience.
Exactly.
Her patience, and such a great job. And Man, I just love that she's still I consider her a young player in this league.
I agree 100%. Glory Johnson, back-to-back games, double figures. She's got 11 tonight. Had 12 in the opening game against Phoenix before missing 5. And Skylar Diggins-Smith, perfect 8 for 8 from the line. 20 points in the ball game for Skylar. 3 wings in double figures. 2 aces in double figures. Wilson faces up. Glory gets defensive with her. Here comes Gray. Got Skylar on the right. Alicia Gray scooping to score her first of the ball game.
You know that's going to be buckets when you give Alicia Gray her left hand in transition.
5th game this season that Skylar Diggins-Smith and Liz Cambage have each scored 20. Wings lead it by 8. We have 2:09 left to play in the contest. The steal, and then the bucket by Alicia Gray.
Growing up in Indiana, you knew the game of basketball. Now, that's what you knew. I wanted to be the best.
Too easy for Skylar Diggins.
Coming back from my injury was one of the biggest hurdles in my professional career. I'd never been without the game of basketball before, so just being out there on the floor again, my team was an accomplishment. I was really proud of that. I'm here to work. Growing up in Indiana, you knew the game of basketball. Now, that's what you knew. I wanted to be the best.
Too easy for Skylar Diggins.
Coming back from my injury was one of the biggest hurdles in my professional career. I'd never been without the game of basketball before, so just being out there on the floor again, my team was an accomplishment. I was really proud of that. I'm here to work.
I bet you that little one won't fall asleep very early tonight. But we're glad to have all the kids here tonight. Need to bring them out here to the College Park Center and see the Dallas Wings. Wings lead it by 8. Final 2 minutes to play. McBride, the floater, no. Liz, the rebound. As mentioned, a new season high in rebounds. 18 for Cambage to go with 26 points.
Efficient possessions is going to be crucial in this last minute and 40 seconds.
Cambage, oh my! And then Gray gets fouled underneath by Kelsey Plum. It'll be a loose ball foul, and Gray went hard on the tailbone. This could be a 4-point play. The lead goes to 10. Here it is.
Well, it just kissed about every part of that rim, which I love it when that happens and you need time to waste it. It's like, okay, how long can you hang up there?
I know exactly. Now, the free throw was missed, but the lead still at 10. Glory Johnson on the switch. Park being guarded by Gray now. Shot clock at 7. Young pull up, no. Davis the rebound. Gayla with 10 points, 3 boards tonight. Skylar. Here comes McBride. 60 seconds left. McBride, no. Cambage fights for it. Glory pulls it away.
Again, we see great point guard leadership right now out of the captain, Skylar Diggins-Smith, and utilizing clock right here, being efficient with their offense, and recognizing the importance of possession by calling timeout right there.
Great job, Liz Cambage, a new career high in rebounds. Wings lead it, final 38.3.
Breaking the record is just a start. Overcoming the pressure is a necessity. You have to do more than just get it close or have the greatest comeback ever. You have to play through the pain. That's how you leap from knowledge of greatness and become legendary. U.S. Open, tomorrow at 11 a.m. on Fox, all part of the USG.
Along with Reagan Peepley, Alexis Shaw, Ron Thulin, final 37 seconds. Wings with the advantage. 3 to shoot. Skylar. Cambage does not get it off. That'll be a shot clock violation.
That's okay. That's absolutely okay. You'd rather a shot clock violation right there than a turnover or even a missed shot that leads to a fast break where the Aces can score quick.
That is a great point. A lot of people say, well, why didn't you get the shot off? I'd rather at least run the clock down. 5-second difference shot of the game clock. Park. Allen, no. Kayla Davis had it, lost it. But it'll be the Wings basketball. Well, Dallas has tied a season-high points in the paint with 48 tonight. That's been the story.
As we said in the Open, this game wasn't necessarily a must-win, but it's an important win as they close up this W. I'm happy for this squad.
Absolutely, and the Wings, they get the victory. They go to 5-4 on the season. They've won 3 of their last 4. And it was an impressive win as Las Vegas cut the lead down to 2, but the Wings lead it by 10. Our Hilton Arlington final score. The Wings win it 77-67. Liz Cambage, 28 points, 18 rebounds. Skylar has 20 points and 6 assists. But the points in the paint were so important tonight for the Dallas Wings.
Absolutely, and especially on a night when you shot so poorly from the three-point line. You needed something to go down, and what you do is you go inside. You attack the paint. You get threes the old-fashioned way with and ones.
And, of course, Asia Wilson, an outstanding game, 14 points. But it was really Caleb McBride that kept the Aces in this ball game. Caleb McBride finishes with 22, but let's go to Skylar Diggins-Smith. 20 points, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds. Did a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we sang her praises all game, but it still feels like it's not enough. She's so important to this team. And you and I talked to Greg Bibb, general manager of the Dallas Wings, the other day, and said, did you expect Skylar to be this good at this point of his career? And his answer was simply yes. When somebody works as hard as she does, you know there's going to be positive results to come from it.
Absolutely. Second most rebounds this year for the Wings. They have 43. They are plus 16 as far as rebounds over the Aces tonight. But Skylar Diggins-Smith, great job standing by with Alexa now.
Skylar, you guys bounce back from that game against Phoenix. Las Vegas comes in town. Their record doesn't quite show how good that they are. How did you get it done tonight?
Sure, they're a team that plays hard, and, you know, they just came off back-to-back. And I think the thing about a back-to-back is you get to keep your rhythm, and you could tell they have a lot of energy. They're a win-by-committee team. But we were able to step it in tonight. You know, for Liz, being able to score on the inside really took advantage of her. She was dominant tonight, and Letty did a great job. Romero off the bench for us in her first game. You know, she showed that she's somebody that can really take the reins and, you know, give them a different look for us with me switching to the 2. Thought Gray came in and was a big spark for us at the end of the game, you know, and as was Glow. But, you know, we're just trying to get it done. We're still learning each other. We got new pieces. The crowd was amazing for us tonight. They always show up for us, and we were just happy we were able to protect home court.
And in getting that depth back on the bench. But in the 4th, I love seeing you. You lead this team, but you fired up and you said, let's go. What were you telling them?
I had a terrible freaking second half, but you know, luckily I have great teammates that have my back, and, you know, just trying to use the crowd's energy to our advantage, and you know, just want to make them understand that we hear them, keeping them involved, and you know, just using that energy on the floor, and hopefully it translated for us, and that's what we were able to make. That's what we were able to make happen tonight, late in the stretch in the 4th.
And you were talking about this crowd. How important was it to get this win before heading on the road to Minnesota?
It's really important, and for us, especially after, you know, last game and the letdown we had at that game, just getting over it. You know, they showed up for us, like I said, and we were able to take advantage tonight. But you got to credit Vegas. You know, San Antonio, Vegas. They're Vegas now. They're a tough team. You know, and like I said, they came out with a lot of energy tonight, and luckily we were able to make the last run.
You did. Thank you for your time, Skylar. Appreciate it. Back to you, Ron.
All right, we got to talk about Liz Cambage, though. What a night. Career high 18 rebounds to go along with 28 points.
Well, you know that when Liz Cambage can score 28 points and Skylar Diggins-Smith can put together a game like that, I think they can beat anybody in the WNBA. But, Ron, I got to say, as a coach, we just listened to that great interview that Alexa had with Liz. She said the word "I" 2 times. She said, I played horrible, and I have great teammates. That right there is a great leader, and she knows how important a player like Liz Cambage is to the team. 28 points, 18 rebounds, 3 blocks, 13 of 20 field goals, and it's just awesome to see this team gelling together.
Well, the Wings play great defensively down the end, really putting the clamps on Las Vegas. They win at 77-67. Remember to join us next Friday at 7 p.m. Our next telecast, the Wings play host to the Los Angeles Sparks. After Reagan Beasley, Alexis Shaw, and our entire crew. So long from Arlington, Texas. The Wings put one in the win column. They win it by 10, 77-67. You've been watching Dallas Wings basketball on Fox Sports Southwest.
The time